Hello, hello. Welcome, my beautiful souls, to the monthly intuitive card reading for August 2026. Welcome. We made it to August. This is so exciting. You guys know what to do. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies and the influences of the week. Of the month of August. What else, guys? Comments down below. I'm using the same 3 decks that you guys are familiar with, shuffled and ready to go. You guys know what I hope every month. Every time I do these, I'm hoping for new beginnings, or fresh starts, or just really, really positive energy. So fingers crossed, everything's shuffled, good to go. So let's just jump right into it. What do we need, guys, besides a fresh start? Vision. Okay, we need a vision. All right, so we need, pretty straightforward. This is, guys, so far a good start, because basically Spirit is asking us for a vision because we can look forward. Okay, it's saying, oh, it's okay to look forward. So you need to think about how you want your life to look, or how you want your career to look, or your love life, and just everything in general, how your health wants to be, how you want to be on a daily basis, that kind of thing. So you need to have a vision for your life. That's what you need. So also, I think this is coming up because maybe things have changed in some way. Maybe you have changed in some way. Your circumstances have changed in some way. Okay, so you need to have a new vision for your life, and we need to be doing that. Our soul needs us to be doing that this month. Action needed, not for you. Okay, taking action on things that are not for you. So this actually kind of means like saying no to things that are not for you, declining things that are not for you. If something comes back around and you feel like it's something that you want to let go of, say no to it. That kind of thing. So yeah, decline everything that does not feel in alignment with who you're becoming or where you want to go on your new vision and how you want your future to be. So let it all go. Decline it. Say no. And actually be firm in it. Okay, this is under the action needed placement. So be firm. All right, we have issues with nature, child, friendships with animals, communication with nature, spirits. Okay, so it's in the light. Okay, so it's saying our connection with animals, great, but we're having an issue with that. All right, so this is really specific. So maybe we have issues getting ourselves into nature, which is interesting. It is August, it's summer for, a lot of people around the world. So this is the time where a lot of people are in nature, taking vacations, that kind of thing. So we're having issues here. Could be also, having trouble getting into nature, but also maybe connecting with a pet. Maybe you adopted a new pet and you're having issues connecting with them. What else could it be? Oh God, I hate to say this. Maybe you're having issues with an animal that you have, a pet where maybe they're sick or there's some kind of issue happening or something along those lines. I'm sorry to report that, but you guys know I always tell you what's going on intuitively. Sorry, in advance if that's your reality. And I don't mean to fearmonger or anything like that, but that's what's coming up here. So it could be a possibility. Just, keep your eye on the health of your pet and your animals and that kind of thing. It could also be like we have an issue with the communication of it. Meaning that maybe you can't understand what your dog really wants from you or your cat really wants from you. That could be it as well. But yeah, there's some kind of block here, some kind of issue with our connection to nature, connection to animals. Okay, pretty specific, but it's coming up for a reason, so keep that in mind for this month. All right, challenge, we have sequoia tree, balance. Okay, so we're having balancing challenges. Okay. We could be overdoing something or maybe underdoing something. Maybe, I always think of work-life balance. That's definitely possibly it. Maybe it's, spending, balancing your time with your relationships, your romantic relationship, your platonic relationships, your family. You're having issues in that area. So that might be challenging. Could be overworking, could be maybe underworking, and you're having too much fun, spending too much, having, way too much fun, that kind of thing. But yeah, we're just having some challenges with balancing, nothing that we can't figure out and overcome. But yeah, some balance challenges. It's a hard one to say a few times in a row. All right, what's changing? What is changing? Chop wood. Okay, so this is about doing the little things. This definitely could be linked to, just like the clean it up card, it could be linked to humility. So that is changing. So maybe we feel like we are being more humble, we have more gratitude in our lives. That's what's changing this month. It could also mean that we're maybe we've been outsourcing the little things in our life. Maybe now we're actually doing them, if that makes sense. Maybe you own a big business and you've downsized the business and now you're doing all the jobs, yourself or something like that. It could definitely be that. But I definitely feel like it's more so like the humility thing, becoming more humble, that kind of thing. Sorry about the ambulance. Okay, what do we need to focus on? We need to focus on the shadow of the storyteller, making up tales that harm others. Okay, so this is about, kind of like gossip, but not really. Sort of similar energy, but this is basically saying make it a priority to not tell other people's stories. Let them tell them themselves. So yeah, it's kind of saying like cut the gossip out. I know we have a gossip. I think we have a gossip archetype, so not quite the same, but this is kind of saying like stay out of people's business. Let people tell their own stories about what happened. Kind of like, don't butt in, like that kind of thing. So focus on yourself and yourself only, that kind of thing. There's not too much more I can say here. All right, reflect on reciprocity. Okay, so this is a good one for reflection. This is basically saying, look at the reciprocal energy in your life. Maybe reflect on the relationships in your life that aren't an even give and take. Maybe you're taking too much. Maybe you're giving too much in some areas. Makes sense. The balance card came up. Okay, so maybe that stuff is becoming more apparent to you. How much you don't have quite that balance in your relationships, or maybe it's talking about work. Does all that work that you're putting in, does your job really value you? Does the company really, are they loyal to you? Probably not. Newsflash, a lot of companies are not loyal to you. They will fire you tomorrow if they didn't have the money, like that kind of thing. So yeah, this is definitely reflecting on give and take. Is it an even give and take relationship is what Spirit is asking you to look at with anything, All right, responsibilities, we have a leg up. Okay, it's a very good placement to have this card. I like it. Sometimes it could have a shadow aspect to it, but for this, it's basically saying take advantage of what you can take advantage of. And again, not in a shadowy way. It's basically saying it's your responsibility to take that opportunity that somebody gives to you. Okay, if you're afforded an opportunity, take it. Okay, if you have a privilege of some kind, it's saying take it. Okay, of course, be aware of it, but it's basically saying like if you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that can get you into somewhere, take that opportunity. If it's kind of like saying a leg up is actually very similar to like the networking card in a way, because it's kind of saying like whatever advantage that you have, use that with, to your advantage basically. And it's your responsibility to do so. Okay. Yeah, there's not too much more I can say here with that. Money and finances. We have victim in the shadow, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. Okay. Oh God, I have such a complicated relationship with the word victim. Okay, so in this way, it's about playing the victim. Again, we're not talking about abuse or a crime in this instance. We're talking about money, finances, and career. Obviously, there's a power dynamic in this situation, so we're not talking about like if your job is taking advantage of you, like that kind of thing. This is about like saying like, how do I say this? Hold on. How do I say this? Okay. So basically it's saying like, I understand and Spirit understands that we need to have jobs in order to get money, right? Okay. But if you have been in the same job for 20 years and you constantly complain about it and they take advantage of you and all that stuff, yes, you are the victim for sure. But it's also saying, like, have you looked for other jobs? Have you tried to get out of it? That kind of thing. So it's just asking you to look at that relationship when it comes to money, finances, and career, okay, where, you know, you have more power than you think you have, and make sure you are just utilizing that power. That's what it's saying. It's saying, yes, there are some situations where maybe you could feel powerless or helpless, but there are situations where you don't, okay? And it's asking you to just look at those situations and make sure you are not, you're utilizing, you know, every avenue that you can to get out of the situation that you're in. That's what it's basically saying. Do your best, okay? Yeah, hopefully that makes sense for sure. And that includes, like, maybe you're in a money, you know, if you're, look, I know the economy is terrible, trust me, and there are people that are working 2 to 3 jobs and still cannot get ahead. And I totally understand that. Our economy is definitely to blame. You know, can't pass the minimum, you know, we can't increase the minimum wage, at least here in America. Okay, I'm talking about people, you know, the economy in America. And it sucks. But at the same time, are we being financially responsible and just, like, making sure we're doing our best to, you know, try to work with those parameters, basically? So it's kind of like saying, like, are you living above your means when you really shouldn't be in this economy? Like, that's kind of what it's saying. All right, does that make sense? I think I'm, like, over explaining it, and I always tend to with this archetype. It's one that makes me nervous because I never want to be the victim blamer, and I feel like I'm not. It is an archetype. There are places where we can play a victim, you know, and again, I'm not talking about a crime or abuse of, you know, systems and people and that kind of thing, okay? It's about finding our power in these particular situations. So, all right, like I said, I think I talked that to death, so let's move on. Okay, surprise. Waves. Okay, so this is, you know, the placement where things come in surprise. So waves. All right, so this is like, you know, up and down, up and down, up and down. So, you know, I always think like moody. So maybe the surprise is that things are not a straight path. They're up and down, up and down. This could also be surprise that maybe you're moodier than usual, or your mood changes very easily or something along those lines, and you're surprised by it. Maybe you're more even-keeled or something. But yeah, this could also be you're surprised that you ride the waves, meaning like maybe life is up and down this month. You know, there's a lot of changes going on, but you're riding the waves perfectly fine, and that's a surprise to you, because maybe usually you are a hot mess, or you get very anxious when there's change or something like that. So that could be in that positive way as well. All right, friends, go the distance. Okay, so this is a good month to see long distance friends. This is a good month to meet people that could be long-term friends, could be also meeting long distance friends as well. This could be seeing friends that you've had for like a really long time and enjoying their company. Let's bring it down to a more literal, grounded way of thinking. Maybe you are running a race with a friend, okay? Maybe you guys are running a 5K or something. So you guys go the distance together, okay? So it could be that kind of interpretation. But I see it as a positive thing either way. So yeah, enjoying, you know, the word longevity comes up usually with this card. Any friends you've had for like a really long time, cherish that. It's a good month to get together. Romantic connection, we have destroyer in the shadow, intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. All right, not the greatest one to get for romantic connection. Well, at least our friendships are good. At least our friendships are good. Friends and family, I would say, are good. Okay, so this is saying, gosh, really explosive energy. I mean, look at the freaking card. So we might be blowing up on partners. We might be, I hate to say this, but we're crushing the dreams of our romantic partners. Maybe your partner got a job out of town, and you don't want to move with them. You tell them you don't want to go to this new town, and that's their dream is it's for their dream job or something. Something kind of like happens in this month in our romantic relationships that may kill dreams. I hate to say it like that, kill dreams, or destroy somebody else's vision of their life, of what they want to be doing. So I will say, in a month where we're thinking about the future and looking ahead and figuring out what we need out of our lives and what we want, it really might be different from what our partner wants. Okay, so look out for that for sure. Not everybody, but some people for sure. Yeah, there's not too much more I can say there. But again, I do want to reiterate, not everyone, but I mean, it makes sense. If your vision for the future changes and your partner's doesn't, that could obviously create conflict. So, makes sense to me. Okay, what's important? So many things are important. Healing is so important. I mean, the most important, I would say. So yeah, it's important to keep your healing going. You're almost there. We have the 9 right here. It jumped out to me. So basically it's saying you're almost there. It's almost done. So continue healing, continue doing the work, whether it's a mental health journey, that kind of thing, spiritual, physical, psychological, mental, all that stuff. So continue healing, make that an important, if you broke your leg, make that still, an important part of the month. Continue to heal from that, make it a priority, that kind of thing. Health and wellness, we have blessed. Okay, so feeling gratitude around health and wellness. Maybe you achieved something, fingers crossed. Maybe you just feel very grateful about how far that you've come. You feel very grateful for maybe an opportunity in health and wellness. You feel very grateful for all the weight you lost or how far you've come in therapy. It's right next to the healing card. So I love them next to each other. We got some good energy going on, but yeah, it's a great place to have this placement for sure. Gratitude is always welcomed. And I think I mentioned, if I haven't already, I think I did, what's changing is being, humility comes along with gratitude. So that is changing. Okay. So, that accompanies this energy for sure. Yeah, we love it. Gratitude is the attitude. Okay, we have overall outcome, Messiah, serving humanity with humility. Okay, there's that word humility again. That's very interesting. Okay, so our more humble selves are ready to serve the world and go out and be of service. So this is definitely really great. So basically it's saying the overall outcome, like by the end of the month, we're going to feel like we can give more. Okay, so it's very interesting that we have the balance card, we have the reciprocity card, and then we have this saying, hey, we're ready to serve humanity. Okay, so I definitely do feel like those issues with balance about give and take and that kind of thing, they definitely get sorted out, because by the end of the month, we are ready to give more and serve more with less of an ego, really more from a soul perspective. Especially if we make time to really think about our vision for our lives through the whole month, we will get to the end where we know how we know who we are, why we're here, and how to serve humanity with our gifts, talents, and the essence of who we actually are. So it's a big message. I like that. So yeah, this is also very good for people who, like myself, I feel like I'm not giving too much. Like I had to spend a lot of time focusing on me, healing myself, So I haven't necessarily been able to give much to others, including my friendships, including the people, friends and family. So it definitely feels like at the end of the month, we feel more in that way where we can serve more, and, it's good for the soul for sure. So All right, guys, I like this month. Okay, it's good. Not what I was expecting, but I like it. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so guys, have a wonderful month, and I think that's it. See you in the next one. Bye.